But go and try to take hold of them, and what do you take hold of? The screen on which the pictures appear so real. After the play, when the pictures disappear, what remains? The screen again. So it is with the self. That alone exists. The pictures come and go. If you hold on to the self, you will not be deceived by the appearance of the pictures. Nor does it matter at all whether the pictures appear or disappear. 1. 2. Once permanent, unwavering sahaja samadhi has been obtained. This is the state of mukti or liberation. People speak of jivan mukti and vidya mukti, that is liberation while still living and liberation after death, but Bhagavan explained that the difference is only from the point of view of the observer. To the realized man himself it makes no difference whether he wears a body or not. Mr. Banerjee asked Bhagavan what is the difference between jivan mukti and vidya mukti. 1. T. 110. 2. Mg, page 47. 201b. There is no difference. For those who ask, it is said that a realized man with a body is a jivanmukta and that he attains vidabhamukti when he sheds the body, but this difference exists only for the onlooker, not for him. His state is the same before shedding the body and after. We think of him as a human form or as in that form, but he knows that he is the self, the one reality, both inner and outer, which is not bound by any form. There is a verse in the Bhagavata. Bhagavan here quoted the verse in Tamil, which says that just as a drunken man does not notice whether he is wearing his shawl or whether it has fallen off, so the realized man is hardly aware of his body and it makes no difference to him whether it remains or drops off. 1. There are no stages in realization or mukti. There are no degrees of liberation. So there cannot be one stage of liberation with the body and another when the body has been shed. The realized man knows that he is the self and that nothing, neither his body nor anything else, exists but the self. To such a one, what difference could the presence or absence of a body make? 2. Sometimes realization is called turiya, the fourth state, because it underlies the three states of waking, dream and deep sleep. When I entered the hall, Bhagavan was answering some questions and was saying, there is no difference between the dream and waking states except that the former is short and the latter long. Both are the product of the mind. Because the waking state lasts longer, we imagine it to be our real state, but actually our real state is what is sometimes called the fourth state, which is always as it is, and is unaffected by waking, dream or sleep. 1.
ДД, П, 101, 2. ДД, П, 102.
202. Because we call these three states, we call it a state also. However, it is really just the natural state of the self. A fourth state would imply something relative, whereas this is transcendent. 1. In truth, there is no bondage. Our real nature is liberation, but we imagine that we are bound and we make strenuous efforts to get free, although all the while we are free. This is understood only when we reach that state. Then we shall be surprised to find that we were frantically striving to attain something that we always were and are. An illustration will make this clear. A man goes to sleep in this hall. He dreams he has gone on a world tour and is traveling over hill and dale, forest and plain, desert and sea, across various continents, and after many years of weary and strenuous travel, he returns to this country, reaches Tiruvannamalai, enters the ashram and walks into the hall. Just at that moment he wakes up and finds that he has not moved at all but has been sleeping where he lay down. He has not returned after great efforts to this hall, but was here all the time. It is exactly like that. If it is asked why, being free, we imagine ourselves bound, I answer, why, being in the hall, did you imagine you were on a world tour, crossing hill and dale, desert and sea? It is all mind or Maya. 2. 8. Under whatever name and form one may worship the absolute reality, it is only a means for realizing it which is without name and form. That alone is true realization, wherein one knows oneself in relation to that reality, attains peace and realizes one's identity with it. 1. DD, page 92, 2. DD, pp. 93-4. 203-9. The duality of subject and object, the trinity of seer, sight and seen, can exist only if supported by the one. If one turns inwards in search of that one reality, they fall away. Those who see this are those who see wisdom. They are never in doubt. 21. What is the truth of the scriptures which declare that if one sees the self, one sees God? How can one see one's self? If, since one is a single being, one cannot see one's self, how can one see God? Only by becoming a prey to him. 22. The divine gives light to the mind and shines within it. Except by turning the mind inward and fixing it in the divine, there is no other way to know him through the mind. 30. If one inquires, who am I? Within the mind, the individual T falls down abashed as soon as one reaches the heart, and immediately reality manifests itself spontaneously as I. Although it reveals itself as the I, it is not the ego but the perfect being, the absolute self. 3. 1. For him who is immersed in the bliss of the self, arising from the extinction of the ego, what remains to be accomplished? He is not aware of anything other than the self. Who can comprehend his state? 32. Although the scriptures proclaim, thou art that, as only a sign of weakness of mind to meditate, I am that, not this, because you are eternally that. What has to be done is to investigate what one really is and remain as that. 33. It is ridiculous either to say, I have not realized the self, or, I have realized the self. Are there two selves for one to be the object of the other's realization? It is a truth within the experience of everyone that there is only one self. 34. It is due to illusion born of ignorance that men fail to recognize that which is always and for everybody the inherent reality dwelling in its natural heart center and to abide in it. 204. And that instead they argue that it exists or it does not exist, that it has form or does not have form, or is non-dual or dual. 35. To seek and abide in the reality that is always attained is the only attainment. All other attainments, siddhis, are such as are acquired in dreams. Can they that are established in the reality and are free from Maya, be deluded by them? 38. As long as a man is the doer, he also reaps the fruits of his deeds, but as soon as he realizes the self through inquiry as to who is the doer, his sense of being the doer falls away and the triple karma is ended. This is the state of eternal liberation. 39. Only so long as one considers oneself bound, do thoughts of bondage and liberation continue. When one inquires, who is bound? The self is realized, eternally attained, eternally free. When thoughts of bondage comes to an end, can thoughts of liberation survive? 40. If it is said that liberation is of three kinds, with form, without form, or with and without form, then let me tell you that the extinction of the ego that asks which form of liberation is true, is the only true liberation. F. V.
205 Index A. Abraham, 19, 56 Abu Sa'id, 63 Ajata Doctrine, 142 Analogy of Reef and Policeman, 110 to 1 Anubhava, 155 Arjuna, 18 Arunachala, v. 43 to 4, 92 is Guru, 93 Asanas, 13 4, 148 Ashtanga Yoga, 145 Atma, 69 Aurobindo, Shri, 92 B. Banerjee, 106,200 Bhagavad Gita, 17, 18, 23, 37, 38, 50.